They call just to ask you for favors. Does this situation sound familiar to you? Oh hey, listen, I know we haven't talked in a while, but I need a really big favor. Do you think you could help me, please? If this friend only ever calls you up to ask for your help, then they're probably a fake friend. Fake friends think it's okay to ghost you for weeks, only to pop up and ask you for a favor. They don't even bother to ask you how you're doing because, really, they're just using you to help fix their problem. And the moment you give them what they want, then they're out of your life once more. They only talk about themselves. Do they go on and on about only themselves, their problems, and whatever else is going on in their own lives? Do they brush you off when you want to talk about your thoughts and feelings? Does it seem like they don't pay attention to any topic that doesn't involve them? The communication between you two feels largely one-sided because fake friends are self-absorbed and inconsiderate. They don't care much about you or what you have to say. Like any other kind of relationship, all relationships need honesty, trust, care, and mutual respect to thrive and survive. But when it comes to fake friends, you'll notice that all of these things are sorely missing.
Managed depression really been beating my ass. It's to the point where I don't even want to leave my room, not to eat, not to use the bathroom, nothing. At this point, I just want to end my life, and it's something I can do very easily. But I know if I do that, my family and friends would be literally devastated and have PTSD for the rest of their lives. I kind of don't want to do that to them, but man, I tell y'all, it's getting really hard to live day to day in this world. Nothing good ever happens in my life. I'm not happy my current living situation. I got a job recently and I had my first day yesterday. It's cool and all, but in all honesty, the money isn't making me happy. I don't know what I want in life. I just feel like my life is pointless and has no meaning. I rarely enjoy doing things. Most of the time, I just want to sit in my bed and sulk in my own tears. I don't talk to no one. I don't vent to no one. I don't want to disappoint anyone by killing myself. But honestly, I'm really fucking close to doing that. But my rare happiness comes from when I'm watching Bruce. I just want to say thank you for making me smile even in the worst times of my life. It's very rare that I be smiling a lot. Honestly, feels really good to smile. This is the end of the
because I'd like to talk about love, and it's always on my mind. I've really stopped looking for someone, unfortunately, because currently where my mind is, it's just like, I don't want to say I've given up, but I've just seen everybody make me promises and make me promises on promises and never really fulfilled. Like, I was always looking for a caretaker, looking for someone that would protect me, take initiative for me, and just be the greatest person they could for me. And that may be selfish, I don't know, but that's just me being honest. And every time I've kind of let myself be led on by someone, they either deceive me or just treat me really, really, really bad. And I'm a very genuine person, and I'm far too emotional, and I care too much, and I've definitely cared too much in situations and been fucked over. Okay, I know how it feels to be alone. I know how it feels to be around people and feel alone. Like, I'll be around a million people and I'll like still feel alone. Like, I've seen people like when you give them ultimatums, they just choose everything besides you. So I've just been placed in situations that are very heartbreaking as far as like people being.
Why do I feel so empty, bored, unfulfilled, like something's missing, like I want something more, like there's this giant, bottomless, infinite hole inside me? So I try to fill it with all kinds of junk to make it go away. But these don't work. They give me a quick high, but it doesn't last, leaving me frustrated, addicted, and wanting more. So I think maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the problem. I need to be bigger, better, smarter, funnier, better looking. So I build myself up on the outside into some person that I don't even know, that I don't even like. And on the inside, I beat myself down, sometimes severely, and I feel more empty. Then I think, maybe if I get my shit together and have the perfect job with the perfect life and the perfect money and all the perfect shiny things I ever wanted, that will fill the hole. So I work and I work and I work and I work, but these things never work out the way we want, and now I gotta deal with dead dreams and feeling like a failure. And even if they do work out and I make it to the top and I get all the things I always thought would make me happy, when I get there I look around and I say, now what? Something's still missing. Time passes, the emptiness has been sitting, festering, fermenting, farting, becoming toxic, and it changes me, making me bitter, critical, and self-centered. And I blame everyone and everything around me for not fulfilling me. And I go from job to job, relationship to relationship, place to place, leaving a real path of cheeriness along the way. Ultimately, I'm tired, I'm done searching, I just don't care, and I give up trying to solve the mystery of the hole and just deal with it. I'm perfectly fine going back to stringing together enough distractions and stimulations to get me through, keeping me moderately satisfied until the day I die. Of course, on the outside, no one would ever know. Everything appears to be going exactly how I wanted it to go, exactly how I planned it to go. A big success, the perfect facade. But on the inside, I'm all alone. And I groan. Quietly. The truth is, I can have all the pleasure, wealth, success, admiration, and all the good things in all the world, but they're not going to fill the hole because they're just not big enough. The hole is bottomless, endless, infinite. These are all limited, ending, finite, and only the infinite can fill the infinite. So what is it? What's big enough? What's bottomless, endless, unlimited, infinite? Why do I feel so empty? Because we're made for fullness, and only God is fullness.
I've been looking for a girlfriend for so long. Like I don't fuck that shit now. Like that shit don't work out for me. I want somebody who understands. That's it. I really want somebody who don't know me. I want her to support me, but at the same time, not give a fuck about what I got going on. So basically, all these diamonds, my man, that shit don't mean nothing. Man, at this point in my life, bro, I'm 17. So by me being so young, like at this point in my life, I'm actually fucked on relationship goals. Cause like, I never know what this girl like me for. I don't know if she like me for Kentrell, she like me for Young Boy. She probably not like neither one of them characters. She probably like this shit. So I'm really fucked. Like I probably never have a real girlfriend. No, my mindset, I got trust issues. Fuck dating. Over with. Until I find that right girl.
You just started dating someone and everything seems perfect. They're attentive, generous, and make you feel like the most attractive person they've ever met. But do they come off a little too strong? Are they calling or texting you excessively throughout the day? Do they profess their love for you only after a few days or weeks of dating? This is a red flag early on in a relationship that should not be ignored. For those unfamiliar with the term love bombing, this refers to a form of emotional manipulation that consists of a person moving too quickly at the beginning stages of a relationship and showering the other person with praise and affection. To be clear, romantic gestures and affection are completely normal aspects of dating, but it can also be a sign of something sinister if done excessively right from the start. Subtle coercion. Controlling behavior and coercive control are obvious signs of domestic violence and or abusive behavior. But the way in which they show up at the beginning of a relationship are usually very subtle and gradual. According to Emma Davey, narcissistic abuse expert and counselor, abusers like to be in control all the time, and they do this by tracking their partner's activity. They will monitor where you're going, who you're going with, for how long, your social media activity, and who you're talking to on the phone. At first, an abuser will apply many subtle coercive tactics, such as needing to know about your daily whereabouts, making suggestions about what you should wear, etc., and masking these demands as altruistic by claiming that they're concerned for your safety and well-being. If you notice that your new partner requires that you inform them of everywhere you go and feels the need to accompany you everywhere, then this could be a warning sign. Hypersensitivity. If you've been with your partner for a short period of time and you've noticed that they're easily triggered by innocuous comments or harmless jokes, then this could be a sign of hypersensitivity, which is a common trait amongst most abusers. It's also common for these individuals to take unrelated or harmless comments as personal attacks and twist the narrative, such as claiming that you're trying to disrespect them when you're merely just disagreeing with them and expressing your own opinion. They dislike your friends or family. Does your new partner express disapproval every time you go out with your closest friends or family members? They might make you feel guilty for spending time with those closest to you and try to convince you that they're bad influences, or say that you're too good for them. This is a subtle tactic that abusers use to slowly isolate you from your support system. So it's extremely important to be aware of this early on and check for patterns of possessive behavior. You have an intense fear of abandonment. Do you find yourself constantly worrying your partner will leave you? If every disagreement leaves you convinced the relationship is over, that's attachment trauma at play, not love. Attachment trauma often starts in childhood, especially when we don't receive consistent care or support. As adults, this can manifest as a deep fear of abandonment in relationships. So if the mere thought of your partner needing time apart makes you anxious, or you fear they'll leave you for good, this might indicate an unresolved wound rather than a healthy emotional connection. Love should feel secure, where arguments don't automatically spell the end, and distance doesn't mean a lack of love. You struggle with setting boundaries. Another telltale sign of attachment trauma is if you often take on the role of rescuer in your relationship. This is most likely because, as a child, you had to earn love by being good or taking care of others. But love is about compromise and mutual growth, not self-abandonment. You feel responsible for their emotions. Do you feel like it's your job to keep your partner happy all the time? If your partner is upset, do you blame yourself? This can be a sign of attachment trauma, particularly if you were raised in an environment where emotions were unpredictable and you learned to manage others' feelings to keep the peace. In healthy love, you support each other, but you're not solely responsible for your partner's happiness. Love allows space for both people to experience their own emotions independently, without constant intervention. You think about them obsessively. Love can definitely make someone pop into your mind now and then, but there's a difference between that and constantly obsessing over them. Attachment trauma can cause intrusive thoughts about your partner, where they are, who they're with, and if they're thinking about you. These obsessive thoughts often stem from early experiences of inconsistency or neglect, making it feel as though you need to stay on guard to avoid losing love again. But true love is built on trust. While attachment trauma keeps you in a loop of insecurity and control, you need constant reassurance. If you find yourself constantly needing your partner to prove they love you, this could be a sign of attachment trauma. You might ask for repeated affirmations, become anxious if they don't reply quickly, or interpret silence as rejection. This fear often comes from attachment wounds that leave you unable to believe that someone truly cares without constant proof. Healthy love provides reassurance, but it isn't demanding or rooted in fear. It fosters trust over time, while attachment trauma creates a sense of urgency and desperation for security. Understanding the difference between genuine love and attachment trauma can help us build healthier relationships, not just with others, but with ourselves. Being in love can feel like one of the most amazing feelings in the world. Even though you and your partner are very much in love with each other, it doesn't necessarily mean that they'll stick around. Sometimes you can be in a relationship with someone who loves you, and that person can still wind up leaving you. That feeling of abandonment can really hurt. And it does because you know that you had love within your grasp, and you still let it slip away. It can make you question your entire relationship. Like, why would they so willingly walk away from love?